Aho. Ashe. Amin. Amen. Let it be so. And so it is. These are all exclamations of a divine yes from different traditions. And at Unity Center of Peace, we say, and so it is, as a way of affirming the spiritual truth that someone has just uttered, or that we have just uttered. And sometimes that spiritual truth, that good, is apparent. It's here. And we're just celebrating it, right? And then other times, the good is hiding behind temporary experiences of illness or lack or sadness or pain. So in New Thought, we affirm the higher spiritual truth that we want to see revealed in our experience. The sun on a cloudy day, right? And at the end of that, when we say, and so it is, we are activating it. When we say, and so it is, from a place of conviction, real conviction, we're activating it. Now, we don't typically say, use the expression amen very often here. And I think, part of it is me. I mean, I kind of have an old, when I say that, I kind of have it brings up an old concept of prayer of beseeching. Like I could see my hands folded and my head bowed and praying to a father up here somewhere in heaven, please. And I think for a lot of people, it's just hollow, right? It's just kind of become hollow. Doesn't have much meaning. But in this book, this new book, The Amen Effect, by Rabbi Sharon Brous, I see a couple people shaking their, yeah, she gives a whole a whole expanded, deeper meaning to the word that really has me thinking twice. I'm kind of changing my mind. First of all, the ancient Hebrew, the word amen in ancient Hebrew originates from the root word, and excuse me, if anybody speaks a little Hebrew, maybe you can help me with the accent, Aleph Mem Nun, or emunah, which relates to ideas of firmness, stability, faithfulness, and trust. Now, faithfulness and trust, really important qualities. These are qualities that are actually necessary for the prayer to be realized. Not only in Judaism, but also Christianity, New Thought, really any spiritual tradition that has prayer in it. Because it is affirming faith and trust. When you say a prayer, or when you do a affirmative prayer, as we do here, and you end it with, and so it is, or amen, you are really affirming your trust that it will come about, that the divine source is actually birthing it right now, that it is right now in process of manifesting. Now that takes faith, right? It takes faith because you can't see it. It takes faith that that divine presence, that the universal one is the source, and that it is present and available now. And it takes trust that you have everything you need within you now. That you have everything you need within you now, and that you are being guided to do whatever it is you need to do, even if it's just a change of consciousness or something in the physical dimension, that you need to do in order to help facilitate the manifestation of it. And again, you can't see it yet, right? But practicing faith, you will. Now, the word amen in the Aramaic, the ancient Aramaic, which is a sister language to Hebrew, and the language Jesus actually spoke, it has a similar Semitic root, a similar meaning, but it's more truly, certainly, let it be so. Truly, let's say that together. Truly, certainly, let it be so. So that's, you can see how, and so it is directly related to the Aramaic, right? So, amen. Thinking about it in a different way. Now, the other aspect of this expanded sense of amen or amen that Rabbi Brous practices in her spiritual community is that it's a confirmation that the congregation says in response to somebody requesting prayer. Or maybe they're just sharing an experience, whether that's joyful or sad or some kind of, challenge. They say amen as a way of saying, we got you. We got you. You don't have to walk this alone. We're here for you. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That when somebody is sharing their struggles, maybe it's a loss, they're grieving, a challenge in some way. So a whole congregation gets together and says, we're holding you. You don't have to hold this alone. And by the way, God is here holding you. God is embracing you, holding you. We are holding you. God expressing through and as us, as our feet and our hands. We are in this together. We've got you. No need to walk it alone. Also, no need to hide your joy and your successes, as we talked about last week, because sharing that benefits everyone, and they do that too. So their congregation is actually a very big congregation, but they're very close, very tight-knit, and very, they're there for each other, right? Which reminds me of another congregation that is very much like that, called Unity Center of Peace. That's us, right? That's us. And we can continue to practice more of it. So she says in this book, in the Jewish tradition, saying amen to someone else's blessing is an act of cosmic significance because the very nature of the word indicates a relationship between seekers, an affirmation of one person's blessing by another. It derives from the Hebrew word emunah, meaning belief or trust, as in, I believe you, I see you. So she calls the amen effect a spiritual strategy. It's a spiritual strategy, saying it offers us tools to navigate heartache and uncertainty with a deeper sense of meaning, direction, and connection. With meaning, direction, and connection. So we're going to get more into that aspect of it next week, but I just kind of wanted to give you some background on this expanded, deeper meaning of amen in contrast to how we normally think about it, just as, before we go any further. So now I want to pick up where we left off last week, which is where we were talking about sharing our good, right? Sharing our good news. As we talked about, we can really be inspired by other people's joy when they share their joy, their wins, their success with us. It's almost as if we are experiencing it just as much as they are. Literally, we talked about the mirror neurons. You know, the neurons that fire in our brain are the same as the neurons that firing in the person who's experiencing it when they share it with us. We can literally share our joy. We also talked about how it's an innate biological need for us to share our experiences, right? To share our joy. I mean, it's one thing to witness a beautiful rainbow, but it becomes an experience when you're sharing it with someone else. So it's that experience that we're looking for. So last week, I asked you to be thinking about some really wonderful thing in your life, something really good, some blessing that you have in your life, because we want to hear about it. We want to share in that good too, right? And part of this exercise is that it exercises the muscle to pay attention, to notice the good in our lives. Because honestly, it's human nature to overlook the blessing, to overlook the good, and to focus on what's missing, what's wrong. And this is an evolutionary biology. You know, thank our ancestors, our hunter-gatherer ancestors, because they had to be alert, right, to any possible danger. So we've kind of inherited that. So we need to consciously, intentionally, deliberately shift our focus, shift our consciousness to what is working, to what is good, to the blessing. So that's an exercise that I want all of us to continue to practice and support each other in. Because again, it's like a muscle. We need to work it, right? So part of that is noticing it and then really allowing it to grow, that energy, that feeling of that joy to grow within us, and to celebrate it and to document it. So speaking of documenting it, we're going to do this right now. If I could have the greeters come by, they're going to give you a little piece of note paper, this sort of this blossoming conscious garden note paper. And I want you to just think of one thing. Many of you, okay, I'll take one, yeah.
You got to join the energy.
I do. So many of us have so many different wonderful things that we can think of, and really, once you get going with one, you start thinking about another. This is a good thing, but I want you to choose just one stellar thing that you would want to share with us, and let's take a moment and write it down. Do we have that meditation music maybe we can play underneath? Or is that too much it's out of? All right, so let's just take a moment to write that down. And then when you are ready, I'm going to ask you to come and put it on our temporary good news board. This is temporary until we figure out how to make a more permanent installation, which I think we're working together with some artists on doing. But this is our temporary board. I'm going to put it right down here. When you're done writing it, if you would come up and put it on our board. And if you can't make it up here, just give your sheet to somebody who can bring it. Such good news, we got giggling going on in here. It's all her fault.
I said it's a form of communion.
Yeah. And those of you back there on the soundboard too, maybe you can have somebody bring it up. Yeah, oh, you got it. Okay, good. Notice how you're feeling now. Focusing on the blessing in your life and maybe just peeking at someone else's. Thank you. Nice. All right. Has everybody had a chance to come up? Okay, now we're just going to keep this in the background here. Now, I'd like to invite anybody up, as I mentioned last week, to share anything, some wonderful news, some wins, some success. Oh my God, look at that hand just shooting right up there. Come on, Karen.
I had to because I'm super excited.
All right.
About a month ago, I found out that I needed to find a new place to live, and I've been in this home for 6 years. And I had to really develop the trust muscle. I was really like, okay, I'm going to start packing. You find the place. And I just dropped a security deposit on Friday on a 2-bedroom flat in downtown Durham that I'm super excited about. So,
woo! Oh, I'm so thrilled for you. Wonderful, wonderful, great. Good news. Anybody else like to share some good news? Yeah, Lynn, come on up.
So I think good news is always something that's totally unexpected that happens that's good. And
Okay.
last week, I was in the kitchen and Azadeh came up and she says, I have a painting for you. And I was like, wait, what? You know, from her paintings that she had up here. And she's like, yeah, I have a painting for you. And I was like, wait, where is this coming from? And she said, yeah, like the yellow one that you talked about, you mentioned to me, like I must have mentioned it weeks ago, and how I liked it. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to gift it to you. And I'm like, no, you're not going to gift it to me. I said, I'm going to pay you for it. And she's like, no, I'm going to gift it to you. And I'm like, no, I'm going to pay you for it. And then she said, well, you make a donation to the church. So I was like, okay. And so I went home with this, like, I mean, it isn't like a small thing. It is a large,
I think I remember that one.
painting.
Yeah.
That I ended up leaving the church with, that I had no idea was going to happen when I walked in. Yeah, and then the church got a donation.
Wow, wow. Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
That's
So,
wonderful.
That's my good news.
Win. All the way around. Beautiful. All right. Who's next? Who wants to share some good news? Sharon, come on up.
Mine is a little different because it's a small thing, but it represents a huge thing.
Yeah.
After going through many years of my life where I didn't have the presence of God, now when something, like you said, unexpected happens and synchronicity, I feel like just blown away by God, that, oh, wow, God is kissing me right here on the forehead. So this week, it was a tiny thing, but it was just one of those kisses. We are preparing to move, and I had said my husband and I were going out for breakfast. So I said to him, I was advising him that he should reach out in closure to some of his old Boy Scout friends. We were very involved with our 3 boys about 15 years ago, just to say goodbye, tie up loose ends. And so we're having this conversation. I don't know if he's really buying it, but we hadn't seen any of these old friends for about 15 years. We walk in the restaurant, and here is one of the key people sitting there. We sit, and we don't even know. We sit right beside them, and then I look, and I'm like, oh, my God. So for the entire breakfast, we had breakfast with the very people that I was kind of wishing. So I was like, wow, there it is. That's when God is so present in my life, and I get that affirmation.
Yes, yeah. And thank you for mentioning those kinds of things, because those are the kinds of things that very often we overlook. We don't give any attention to. So that's really what we want to notice. All right. Against.
Most of y'all know a lot about me because I talk about myself a lot. But there's one thing, one of the major things about my life that you don't know is that I am a lifelong vegetable gardener. I've been vegetable gardening for 80 years. I've been composting for 50 years. My father, a member of the Agricultural Hall of Fame, taught me to garden. Well, it's more than an addiction. I think only Jamie has seen my current garden. I have been gifted with an incredible garden opportunity. I am the full-time garden manager for North Carolina State's Learning Center for Autism in Pittsburgh. I have this incredible garden that's been fallow for 5 years. I have volunteers. We have put together an enormously beautiful and productive garden.
That's beautiful. Yeah, come on up. And tell us your name, too. I know you're new.
I'm Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
I've been communicate
Yeah.
with some of y'all and know some of you like Gaines. And I have so many interesting little tales. One real quick one, I went into this thrift store and was checking out, and in walks this young woman, and I'm thinking, I think I know her. And it was Roshana. I hadn't seen her in 20 years. We used to be in the same women's group in Salina, Kansas. And it was just so wonderful to get reconnected with Roshana. But so many other things have, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is that, I can't remember exactly who's coordinating it, but I'm gonna do my art in here before too long. And so I'm working on that. I do just a wide variety of art, so part of the problem is figuring out what to put in here. But also, I have a book of poetry and art together, and it's about ready to be published. I'm on the verge of getting it published, and I got a great offer on it a couple of days ago. So.
Oh, woohoo! That is some good news to share. Oh, my goodness. Murtari, come on up.
I just want to share something that I believe is good news. My mother took her last breath around a week ago, and what was beautiful about that is it was very peaceful. And my brother and 3 sisters, we were there with her, supporting her, and what's so beautiful is that my siblings and I have developed, closer relationships, and I just really feel like, there's this soil that was kind of getting richer and richer through this process, and that we are just all these flowers. Our family, my siblings and my nieces and nephews, were just kind of born again in some way. So I just found that really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What a gift. What a gift. Anyone else? Yes, Sue-Ann.
Oh, this is hard. I may cry. Some of you may know that I've been struggling with depression for quite a while. And I know I can be very funny and entertaining, but there is this side of me, okay? So, and you also know, some of you, that I follow the Mayan calendar. So today is my sign, my Noel. It's which sounds which means the path, the sacred path in particular. And I've been scrambling the word sacred, and for me, it's been the scared path. I really struggle with fear, intense fear and sadness in the morning. So I'm reading about the journey today, and I'm thinking, and it's saying this is a very good day for an actual physical journey. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just get in the car, and I'm just going to go. I wound up going to Jordan Lake, and sitting by the lake, and with the waves lapping, and with the wind blowing, and the sun shining, I actually felt good in the morning for the first time in a very long time. So it may seem like a small thing hearing about this, but for me it was very big. So I want to share it with you, so thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have time for one more. Yeah. Is there one more? I see a little hand going. Go on.
It gets to be a little thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Little, but very significant for me. This morning, my daughter, a few months ago, my daughter and granddaughter moved in with me, and we have been making it work quite wonderfully, but we're often passing each other because of our crazy schedules. This morning, my daughter and I both got up early and met downstairs and had time for really relaxed, an hour, 2 hours of talking in a way I don't remember us talking in many, many, many years about our lives, about what we believe, what we want, what we love, and I just came away feeling everything's going to be okay. I really feel hopeful because of that conversation. No, it's not that. It's this place too. Coming here helps me every time, and you all have helped me over these past few years since the death of my mother to actually feel like I've come alive again. And I really am enjoying just being alive, everything. So thank you all for that, and thank my daughter for making me feel like I haven't been a failure as a mother.
Thank you. Okay, I invite you to come and look at the board after the service and read through these things. We'll put it wherever we're doing the Sacred Cafe, which is it in here or is it outside? We don't know yet. Is it okay? Before the storm comes, I think we're good. We'll bring it outside so everybody can look at that. And continue to work this week in shifting, noticing, really paying attention to all of those small, significant blessings and all the big stuff too. Yes? All right. Amen. Hi, it's Reverend Victoria here. I'm at Unity Center of Peace with our house band, Bright Matter.
Hello.
Yeah, and if this video has inspired you or empowered you or opened your heart, opened your consciousness, or even just given you hope, we ask that you support what we're doing here by making a donation today, going to unitychapelhill.org or clicking the link below. And we thank you.
Thank
Thank you.